And we're back. Office Hours, HiredUp Podcast. It has been a while since we have done this. Like you said, Josh, we had a couple of natural disasters.
Yeah.
A couple app issues.
Yep.
We had some technical issues.
To be expected, except the snow.
Yes. The snow was an anomaly.
Especially in Texas.
When I woke up and it was -2.
I mean, I'm one to poke fun because I used to live in Boston, and when it gets to 30, 40 degrees, 30 degrees, and everyone here freaks out. I'm like, I mean, I don't prefer the cold, but I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
It gets to 0, and it's okay. This is real.
Yeah.
This is serious. Like nowhere else, everywhere else is. This is the real stuff. This is the real winter. So
yeah, -0.
Yeah,
negative zero. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. 0 is cold.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
very, very cold.
Celsius, still cold.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was very interesting. So we were out of the office for, I guess, the whole week, right? Monday through Friday.
Yep.
The whole week we were out.
Yep.
I mean, you couldn't really go anywhere. It's not like you could.
Everything was shut down.
Everything was shut down.
The roads were not plowed because no one knew what plows were.
I don't even think Dallas County owns any plows.
Well, here's the thing. I thought, first of all, I thought maybe they would have some in storage just in case. Then I thought, they don't have any in storage, but, it's Texas. There's tractors everywhere. Get the tractors out there.
Yeah.
Figure it out. The tractors were not out there.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't.
Tractors.
No, I didn't see any. By the way, I'm looking at Instagram right now, and Dallas Girl Gang put us on their story.
Nice.
Shout out,
And,
Dallas Girl Gang.
Shout out to Dallas Girl Gang.
Yeah, they're a really popular account. They do a lot of great stuff.
So they're on the podcast next week?
Yeah, so next Wednesday at 3, I believe, I will be speaking with Amanda, who is the founder of Dallas Girl Gang, and just kind of talking to her about how she built her community. Now they do promoted posts within the community too, and she's kind of made herself a whole entrepreneur platform and community herself too. So really excited to talk to her.
Yeah, kind of going back to those types of Instagram accounts. When the snowstorm did happen and people were, a lot of people were without power, without running water and things like that. A few of these community sites did a really brilliant thing and basically was a reference for the rest of the community on Instagram.
Yeah.
On places to get clean water and resources and things like that. So that was a lot of people. Take advantage of a situation, but they're really not. They're really doing something good.
Yeah.
They're not just exploiting a situation or anything.
Yeah.
They're really providing a really great service on Instagram. So
Yeah.
it's a really smart move.
I completely agree. That's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I am
That'll be
too.
fun.
I am
I just
too.
learned from Nika that in Russia, Monday is Women's Day,
Really?
which is basically like Valentine's Day and Mother's Day combined.
no
And
way.
so it's like every woman in Russia gets gifts, and it's like mothers and daughters spend a lot of time together, and it's this big thing.
That is
That's interesting. I've heard maybe in Mexico and some Latin American countries, Valentine's Day is inclusive of friends. So it's not just about lovers or anything.
Right.
Because there was one gentleman who told me a story. He didn't know how Americans celebrated Valentine's Day, and so he basically invited his buddies, his dude buddies, to go on a dinner, and the buddies had to back out and say, well, the people may take that the wrong way or something, and he didn't understand because I guess in Mexico the Valentine's Day includes the celebration of friends. Of relatives, just your community that you
hang out with.
Yeah.
you hang out with.
That's wild.
Yeah, which I kind of like actually.
Yeah, I do too.
No one feels left out or
Right.
anything like that. So
That's
kind of
interesting.
like- Yeah.
It's like what?
Galentine's.
Oh, Galentine's. I'd never heard of that until this year.
Really?
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, like girls getting together to celebrate Valentine's,
Yeah.
but it's just everyone, all inclusive.
Yeah, I don't think there's a dude version of that.
Yeah.
No.
There's not a dude
Bro
times.
times.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Yeah, but Women's Day, I found that very interesting.
Yeah.
And the, I guess like nobody goes to work.
Nobody,
What?
even
Yeah.
men.
Well, I don't know. I have to confirm.
Oh my gosh, how crazy would that be if only the women like got off work
Yeah.
and all the men had to keep going to work?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, hey, why not?
yeah,
Go for it.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the snowstorm, had a bit of a lull that past week, and then came back. And you can kind of talk about some of the app things that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
On previous podcasts, we did mention that we are starting around DFW and moving outwards as far as our marketing. And
Hang on, we're
everything.
going to have Nika in real quick. Nika, come sit here and talk about what Women's Day is real fast.
Sure. So Women's Day is an international holiday that's celebrated around many countries.
Come sit down at the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. We're fascinated.
Okay. So Women's Day is an international holiday. It's celebrated in many countries. In United States, it's mainly celebrated by foreigners, but a lot of people are kind of surprised when I mention it. In Russia, and this kind of stems from like Soviet times in Russia, it became a huge holiday for women to kind of celebrate because we didn't have Mother's Day and Valentine's Day as a Western holiday. It wasn't celebrated there, so they had this International Women's Day that was kind of like a Valentine's Day and Women's Day rolled in one. So, and on that day, just all women are celebrated. A lot of women are off work. Flowers is definitely in. Men in women's life, they completely relieve them of all the chores. They make breakfast in the morning.
Wow.
What?
Yes, they give the gifts. And women as well exchange gifts. So like I would, on Monday, my brother and my mom plan to come see me. So they'll bring me flowers probably. I'll
Aw.
get flowers for my mom. We'll maybe exchange small gifts, go eat. My brother is 18 now. He'll probably pay for us, so that's good.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, and
That is so
it's a
nice.
pretty big deal over there. So it's I was telling Evan, we're joking about it. What you give your woman on almost said Valentine's Day. What you give your woman on Women's Day determines the rest of your fate for the rest of the year.
Oh wow.
I
So-
believe it. I believe it.
No
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
Okay, so I have a question. Do men work on Women's Day too, or is everyone off? Is it a national holiday?
It depends. They started to make it like a day off lately because it's such a big deal over there. I remember. I mean, sometimes girls would not have any homework for that day in school. So even though we had to go to
What?
school, yeah, and boys had to bring some stuff to class. They would have to give us some gifts. I don't know whatever they had. I mean, they didn't have a lot of money, but
Yeah, yeah.
so if they gave us, I don't know, some mugs with our names on it,
Wow.
or flowers, you
Fancy.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe their parents would buy like a big bouquet for all the girls in class, and they would just pass it, one flower at a time. So something like
So
that.
we need to move to Russia.
It's a very cool holiday. It's a very cool holiday. So because women, so it's not like that. How on Valentine's Day you would get congratulations from your special someone. So on Women's Day, I as a woman, I would get it from like my boyfriend, my father, my grandfather, my cousins who are male.
Right.
Everybody,
right, right.
all the men in my life, friends, like guy friends, so everyone, all the men that are close to me in my life would come to me and congratulate me and bring me flowers. So you're flowered out.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
I'm like
Women's Day.
blown away right now.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine
And then
that here.
women do stuff for each other as well. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
so it's
That's
pretty-
awesome.
Yeah.
So you said like everybody gets the day off, or just the women?
Just the women, but it just depends because it changed over years. Some companies, they still have you work on a Women's Day, but a lot of companies have moved to it just depends on the company.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, but it's
Right.
Wow.
That is
Very
so
cool. Yeah.
And on the 9th, they give women a pass too because if they are hungover from the celebration,
Ah.
so they go easy on them.
Yeah.
Because yesterday was March 8th.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm not gonna come to work on that. On the 9th. I don't drink, so.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
That's
so.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Cool block, yeah. But it's kind of just, but internationally, I think in Russia, it shifted away from the initial which all the holidays I forgot. Christmas shifted away from its initial purpose. But Women's Day is really to celebrate women's liberation, equality, women's achievements in any sphere, not just in the world and scientific and professional, as mothers, as just women, wives, everything. Just to celebrate women, but it became so commercialized, just like everything with all the holidays, even over there. So,
Of course.
The flowers are gonna be triple the price in Russia. I already see like on Russian Instagram. I see all the
Russian Instagram.
Russian Instagram.
well, it's
Instagram.
It's the
Still
Russian.
Instagram.
It's still Instagram. I call it the Russian Instagram because it's
Yeah.
that weird section of the Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything's in Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
funny.
yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks for sharing
Thanks,
that.
Nika.
No problem.
Oh,
Oh, you okay? Yeah.
Are you
I know
okay?
it's
That kind of hurt, but no. Yeah.
Yikes.
Good thing I was like slow to raise.
it's a trap in here. There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brianna, you gotta tell your boyfriend. So.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're celebrating Russian Women's Day.
Russian
from
Women's Day.
now on.
I hope Nika's head's okay.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. We need to
We have a lot of moving parts
make this
in
place
this
a little.
podcast.
This is not a
Yeah.
child friendly.
Yeah.
Not that Nika's a child, but we need to make this like a safety zone.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah. That's wild.
I texted her. I was like, you have to come in here and talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn something every day.
I know. We have such an interesting group of. Have you ever like sat back and realized how interesting this group of people is?
Yeah.
Like our team is so diverse and so interesting.
Yeah.
So
I love
interesting.
it.
One thing that is a miracle is one of our developers, Andrew, since we hired him back in, gosh, I don't know, it's been a while, but he's had a smoke alarm that is dying since we hired him, which has been probably like 8 months now.
Yeah.
Every single time I'm on a call with him, I can hear it chirping in the back. And I
Oh
don't even
my
think he hears
gosh.
it anymore.
I don't know how you do that.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna update us on.
Nope.
He never.
It's
he
still,
got it fitted.
I talked to him yesterday and it's still there.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I bet he doesn't hear it anymore. And if he were to change it, I think it would really mess him up.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It would he'd be like, why
He'd be
can't I
completely
sleep?
Thrown off. Yeah.
Why can't I sleep?
I have people in my life that cannot go to sleep unless they have television on.
Yeah.
I know people like that too.
It just when you realize like how easy it is to manipulate your subconscious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even TVs in other rooms, and you're not paying attention to the TV, like that stuff is getting in your subconscious. Like I can't imagine what these people are getting programmed with at night. You know?
I know. It's really strange. Or people who like they have to have a really loud fan on.
I have to have a fan on.
Do you?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. It's like the noise. It can't just be like completely dead silent. It has to be pitch black and it has to be like a little bit of like fan noise.
A little
At
fan noise.
least you do
Yeah.
pitch black. At least you do pitch black. That's
Yeah.
super important. And also, it should be a cold room. Cold
Okay.
room.
I imagine that Josh has like this
Your
evening
sleeping
ritual. Like he has candles lit. The matcha is whisked.
Oh my
The
God.
SCOBY is
Candles,
checked
yeah.
on. Like
I have my list.
ice bath, soak tub, ice
Yeah.
bath, soak
Yeah.
tub,
I was just telling Evan today. I mean,
Oils.
after the
diffusers.
yeah. You're not far off. But I was telling you earlier in our little meeting, in our little catch up, that these past 2 weeks with the snowstorm and everything, I kind of got laxed on my morning and evening rituals a bit, and it really threw me off. Like
Yeah.
throughout my day, I did not feel as energized or as motivated. I had a little bit of a lethargic feeling throughout my day, and it just made me realize how important these morning rituals are. Even if it's just not whipping matcha or anything, but
Yeah.
just getting up early, having your routine, setting up your day for success, I think is so important to how well your day goes. So
Completely.
100%.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're really big into routines too.
I love morning routines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think, especially too, whenever you're so used to your routine, not that like you're in a rut or anything, but like you have your set of things that you do every single day. Like you said, it sets your day up for success. And whenever you falter from that, especially a couple days, it can really kind of throw your whole like groove off.
It totally messes with your mental state.
Yeah.
Like I've said this a million times, but I think it's so important. I said it I answered a question like 5 minutes ago in a video, and it was, I think that the morning routine is so important because our whole day is basically for other people. Like we work jobs to output stuff that are going towards a cause that we're involved in, but it's like something else. And like people need us. And if you're married and have kids, like your spouse and your kids need you, or your significant other needs you, like you're needed. So if you wake up with 20 minutes until you have to be like reporting to somebody or something, that day belongs to those things and not you.
Yeah.
So waking up early gives you that time to like focus on yourself. And then I find, this may not be true for everybody, but I find that it doesn't matter how much people need me all day. I never burn out because I've had that time. I've had 4 hours in the morning of just Evan. Like I've had 4 hours to do the things that are important to me, that are non-negotiables, that I know I have to get done before I ever step out the door and have to output. So
That's
it's like,
a really good point.
How could I be in deficit if I've spent 4 hours in the middle of or in the beginning of the morning,
Right.
just on me?
Your cup is full. Now
Your
you
cup
can-
is full.
Just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A couple of interesting content things happening. We're going to be having some really interesting shifts in the way that social's done and people on the podcast and just the output in general. I think that one thing, a shareable action item for a lot of people that I think would help a lot of folks is, we have tried so many different iterations of how are we going to output each week? What are we going to output each week? Like what goes up on the page? We're trying to always figure out like, how can we make this better and different? And I think now we have at least the HiredUp page at a really good point.
Yeah.
Like the list that you guys made yesterday is great. And what I like about that is that we're going to stick to that 100% until we figure out something better or something doesn't work. So it's like, you guys created a list of every single thing that we need to output on each day of the week for, 5 days. And sometime inside the week, those things will be completed, filmed, recorded. And Jesse Itzler says this, that he doesn't set daily goals, he sets weekly goals. Because if we said, okay, we're going to do 2 podcasts, we have to do one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and then we have to do, Josh does his video on Monday, you do your video on Thursday, then inevitably in week number 2, that's going to derail.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can set up a weekly goal and say, okay, I have to get these 25 things done this week, you can kind of shift things around a little bit. And that's what I like about that list. And what you were saying, Brieonna, about batching content.
Yeah.
We can sit down and do 4 pieces of content at one time.
Exactly.
Then we don't have to do anything tomorrow if we have a busy day.
Right. Frees up a lot of time.
It frees up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this new kind of plan here. We're doing a lot of interesting things with content.
Yeah.
I just want us to be thought leaders in this space,
Absolutely.
especially as we're right about to release the marketing dollars. I want people to begin to see us as like a place of knowledge, and a place where people come for information on jobs and things like that. I think now that I'm wrapping on this, one of the things that we might do is we could actually, so I'll take you back to a story here. So Barbara Corcoran, when she first started out in real estate.
The shark?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I sent you all a podcast with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she first started out, she noticed that there was not a list of all of the apartment complexes and the average price of apartment complex in Manhattan. And so what she did is her and her partner, they went out and they collected all of that information. They figured out what is, every for sale apartment in Manhattan, and let's put that together, add them all up, average it, and then we're going to publish a paper that says, here's the average price of apartments in New York City. Not very complex. They compiled that information, released it, and it became like the gold standard for average
Interesting.
apartment pricing in New York City. And what I think is cool about that is that all she did was take information and report on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people went to her and her company for the advice, and for like they were the thought leaders and they were the base of knowledge. It's exactly what you're doing with the LinkedIn rundowns. You know, you're giving your 2 cents on that. I think what we could probably do is become, you know, we're starting in Dallas right now in the DFW Metroplex. We can gather a lot of the stats on the job market in DFW and report on that. I think that'd be a great piece of
I think
content.
that'd be really cool.
Because then we're not just talking about like the tips and everything is wildly beneficial. If we can then add in the second piece of that, which is, okay, here's all these things that we're telling you to do. So we've given you the tips, or we've gotten you the interview with our app. Now, you know, we're giving you the tips, especially Brieonna. Brieonna's giving you all the tips and tricks. Yep, check those out. And then if we can take them and go, okay, now here's all of the, you know, data as far as like what industries are best right now, because then that's going to tell our listeners, hey, I need to start typing in these keywords into the app, things like that.
Right.
And even not associated to the app, I mean, that's just good. That's good content. Like if we can be thought leaders on the actual stats in the DFW job market, that's big.
That'd be killer, especially too, like similar to Barbara's situation. Like she found a gap that kind of no one was doing, which I don't know anyone off the top of my head, at least, who is doing that, you know, in addition to what they're already providing.
100%.
I love that.
Let's find a day that we can post that up here. And I don't know how that would look. I mean, maybe we can just,
There's tons of
there's a lot of ways.
information we can gather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we could just come up with some sort of, I'm thinking of a million different ways we could do it. We can talk offline about it, but
Yeah. I mean, there's potential to do like partnerships with companies and highlight their opportunities for them on our platform and things like that, or create
That's a good
content for
idea.
them.
yeah. Will you write that down, Brieonna?
Yeah.
Just write like partner with companies and promote them.
Yeah.
Cool.
By the way, you have to teach us how to take notes, because you take better notes than anyone I've ever seen.
I don't understand.
Your notes are unbelievable.
That's funny. I have to write everything down for
I
it
noticed
to
that.
soak in.
I'll say like one thing and it
Well, that's a
immediately
real
goes in
thing.
your.
Yeah.
In your,
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
And they've done studies
Look
on
at that.
writing versus typing too.
It's a lot.
In writing, handwriting, people absorb more of the information way more than typing.
Yeah.
Do you like synthesize this at night? Like, do you go back and read through it all?
No, I should.
Really?
Yeah.
You just
because
write it just to have it as a record?
Yeah, I feel like the information gets absorbed better whenever I read it, even if I don't go back and look at it.
Yeah.
I tried to, like, the next morning coming back in and just kind of look at, like, what I wrote the day before.
Yeah.
But I was a server for a really long time, like starting when I was 16 all the way through college. And I had to write everything down, or, you know, something would just, I'd forget it.
I finally got to a point when I was doing that,
Yeah.
and I didn't need to write it down anymore.
Yeah.
You were that guy.
I was
I always
that guy.
wanted to test
That's
guys like you. I'm
yeah,
like,
I know.
hold this.
I know.
Actually, wait a
Yeah.
second.
I
I'm
know.
going to do this instead.
I got really good at that. Yeah.
Like, look at this tool bag trying to memorize my order.
I mean, it made things go a little faster.
Tool bag.
Well, now a lot of restaurants they're cheating now because
They're
they have like the
It's on the phone.
POS thing
Yeah.
on their phone.
Right.
They've become, waiters and waitresses have become brand ambassadors now.
Yeah.
Like, all
Yeah.
they do is come out and just, they're
Yeah.
basically just.
I'm like, give me that thing. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll type in my order.
Well, a lot of them do that. So there's some true food restaurants where you go and the waiter, waitress comes out, says, hi, welcome. Can I get you any water? And then, okay, all of our ordering is on your phone. So scan the QR code. This has happened to me like 4 times now at multiple different restaurants. Scan the QR code, fill out your order on there, and you pay through. So literally you order on your phone. You're sitting at the table. You order on your phone. You pay through your phone. And then all they do is just bring the food.
I wonder how servers feel about this.
I mean, are you supposed to tip them for that?
I was about to say,
That's what
for the water.
I mean, I don't know. I did, but I assume at some point everyone's going to realize, why are we...
Yeah.
I actually
That's
don't like it, though.
interesting.
I like communicating with
I
them.
do too, yeah.
Because sometimes they don't have the option on here, so I'm like...
Right.
Or I just want
Let
to
me
like
speak to
you
somebody.
know, just have that human interaction.
So for me, I love going out to eat, and I love the experience of going out to eat. Like, I could go somewhere and the food not be that great, but if the experience is really good, like,
You're like Tiffany.
that is a win for me. And part of that is
Your
like
Rainforest Cafe gal?
You talk to the big tree.
Yeah. Because their food is terrible. I mean, no offense. No, their food is terrible, but that atmosphere is quite...
I mean, I haven't
as a
been in
kid
a really long
especially.
time, but I mean, part of the experience is the waiter, you know, what they suggest, kind of going back and forth with them.
Of course.
Yeah.
The personality.
Their personality, too.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there's also something to... You don't know what people are going through. You have a chance to brighten up someone's day just by something you say or how you interact with them. Like, that's something that the technological experience kind of misses sometimes. And I think that's what's great. Going back to our app, we're utilizing technology, but we're utilizing humans using the technology, you know.
100%.
With the videos, with everything, you can shine, you can show your personality.
Yeah.
So that I think we have a really good balance of technology and human
Definitely.
interaction. So
That's a good point, Josh. Because it, you know, right now it's very just like the way the food ordering thing at restaurants, I think is ridiculous because it feels so industrial. It feels like I'm at a sit down vending machine.
yeah.
You know, it's
That's what
like
it is. You're
all I
inside.
do is push buttons and then food arrives.
Yeah.
And it's like you miss the experience.
Yeah.
You don't have the experience.
Yeah.
So, and I don't buy the whole non-contact thing. Like, I think it was a way for some restaurants just to cut costs, and they figured out like, oh, we don't have to have, because if you have everything on your phone, you don't have to have, you know,
million
15
servers.
waiters and waitresses.
Yeah.
Like, you can slim that down to a
You don't have
third.
to have menus. You don't have to have people cleaning menus.
No menus.
You know?
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, the app. The reason I love the app, but the reason I love the app so much is what you just said, is it takes everybody from just being reduced to a one-page piece of paper, companies and people, and makes them human again. It allows them to actually show who they are.
I like that wording.
We'll soundbite that.
Yeah.
That'll become a clip.
Make them human again.
Make them human again.
No more cyborgs.
But it's true. I mean, it's just,
It is a trend.
it's when you're job hunting, I'm sure so we're interviewing interns right now.
Yes.
So if anybody's listening who knows somebody or is somebody that would like to intern at HiredUp, particularly in the media department, let us know. It's going to be a really exciting internship. I'm very excited for those interns. I'm sure you've had this experience that going through their resumes, you'll call one back and they'll say, who is this again? What company are you with? Because all they've done is just apply. They just click
Totally.
through hundreds of job applications. And it's like, how, you know.
Totally.
Guilty.
Yeah.
That was definitely me.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so true. Did you apply or did I come looking?
I'm not sure.
I think I reached out to you.
I'm not sure.
In the podcast that you and I did, you said you applied.
Well, so you guys had my resume, so I think I applied, and then you reached out to me on LinkedIn.
Gotcha.
Yes. But I had forgotten that I applied.
Yeah. Well, we have a whole podcast about it. If you want
We
to
have it on the record.
relive the moments
Yes.
of your experience.
Yeah.
We go
Episode
play
4.
by play, and we actually talk a lot about, you know, the hiring process and how it can be improved. So anyone wants to check that out, HiredUp podcast. I forgot what episode number it is, but
It's one of the first 5.
yeah.
You know what's
Josh and
interesting?
Brieonna.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked that episode. You know what's interesting is I think that so much of what we do in our business and in social media is everyone's like, how can we make an experience as fast and efficient as possible, but as connected as possible?
Yeah.
I think social media has its faults with this, right? Because it sometimes like you can be sitting next to somebody in real life and they're just talking to people in their phone screen.
Yep.
But if you think about what we're doing is we're taking a very inefficient process that is very inhumane and we're making it simple and fast, and then we bring that human connection back.
Right.
So like you're actually able to interact with this person. through your phone. And I just think that's so needed.
Absolutely.
It's so needed. Like, I think
Absolutely.
people crave that. And I think people are, especially candidates, are desperate to be seen for who they really are. I think that candidates are desperate to be seen for who they really are because they're tired of feeling like they're just part of the stack and they're just another resume, and they've gone to college for all these years and they've worked so hard and they've worked in other jobs and they've done all these great accomplishments, and then they have to just like fit into the stack of resumes and hope to God that they stand out or fall to the side and get noticed. And that's just so sad.
Yeah.
Like, so they shouldn't have to do that. Like, you should be able to really show everybody the realness of who you are. And that's exactly what the app does. That's what HiredUp is.
Yeah. And I think too of like
Another
these-
soundbite.
Yes. Systems that have been around forever, like banking. Banking has been around forever. And now we have Venmo.
Yeah.
And we can send people money instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a mind-blowing concept. And now we can't imagine having that system, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's time for the hiring system, the hiring process, to also get, you know, that kind of facelift, that update that it so desperately needs.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when you talk about the app and people tell you, how has no one ever done that before?
Right.
You're probably on the right track.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So.
I think so too. Well, think about the evolution of social media. I mean, it was a picture and then it was text. And then Snapchat came along and disrupted that whole thing. And they went,
Yeah.
well, we're going to allow you to take a little recording of yourself or a picture of yourself and send it to whoever you want or send it to everybody that follows you.
and it only lasts 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
And like, that was the greatest thing ever because now you could really truly interact with these people. It wasn't just this sort of online kind of a website, you know. It was like, I mean, and Instagram was great, obviously, because you had all the pictures, but Snapchat was the first one to really make it super human to human.
Right.
And people crave that.
Absolutely.
And all these social medias are just copying each other at this point. I don't know if
I
you heard
know.
about Twitter Spaces.
Is that a Clubhouse?
Clubhouse on Twitter. On Twitter.
Gosh, it's so it's like, do
Wait.
something original.
Exactly.
It's Clubhouse on Twitter?
Yeah, it's called Spaces.
So now they
Twitter
have
Spaces.
fleets.
I
and
think they got rid
spaces.
of fleets. I don't see fleets anywhere anymore.
Really?
Oh, good.
Maybe they have them doing more beta testing or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't see anyone using fleets. I think it became a quick meme and it was gone.
Yeah. Meme.
It's so strange. Yeah, we were looking. We were trying to find a fleets manager that had at least 5 years of experience.
Recruiters. That's a recruiter joke.
Yeah. I think that to social medias out there, the only time that a social media has successfully stolen another product is when Instagram took Snapchat.
I was just about to say that.
But even then, it's still not the same. So they only stole the stories portion, and that
Some of the filters. I
and some of the
guess.
filters, and that took off. Like, well done, Instagram, because
Yeah.
Instagram made Snapchat better from that perspective. Snapchat still has it on the sending pictures back and forth to each other, but Instagram definitely took over the world of Snapchat stories. But I don't know why every single time a new social media comes up that, like, Instagram even copied Telegram a couple months ago and gave you the option in DMs to vanish your DMs.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like, when does that end?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
stop. There's nothing original there. It's just copying each other.
Well, and then Instagram released this week that they are now doing Instagram Lives. You can do it with 4 other people, and it's just adding to that. I feel like this is just another way that they're trying to compensate.
That was like
for
House Party.
Clubhouse.
Remember House Party?
House Party, that's what that was.
It was like
It's
it
like
came in and
Clubhouse
it was
and House
gone.
Party
Yeah.
mixed together because there's 4 people going live. There's 4 commentators. They can all speak, and then people can, comment while they're speaking
Yeah.
and, going through
Just
their
with
chats and
video.
stuff. yeah, it's with video versus, audio only. But
Yeah.
it's just out of all the things you could have released, that's what you.
Well, what's funny is
I know.
what's the funniest part is Twitter, right? Twitter came out with Spaces, and then all these people on Twitter are like, "We've been begging you guys for years to simply make an edit button on our tweets. That's it. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long as a programmer
Yeah.
to do something like that. Just an edit button, because
Yeah.
so many people have gotten in trouble or have gotten embarrassed by sending tweets and something's, I don't know, misspelled or whatever,
Right.
and they have to delete it and then repost it or whatever, rather than just have a quick edit button, just
Yeah.
like Instagram has.
It's like
Right.
everybody.
Everybody else has an edit button where you can edit the message or whatever, and Twitter refuses to do that.
Yeah.
So that's just an example of you're not listening to your people. You're not
Well,
listening to your people.
Same with Instagram too. Ever since Reels came out, people have been begging for analytics, because all you can see is who has viewed your reel, but you can't see if it was shared. You can't see, like anything else other than that, or like the swipe up link. People have been begging for that for smaller creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need like a certain amount of
You
followers.
need
Yeah.
and
10,000
stuff.
followers
Yeah,
to
you
do it.
need 10,000 or above.
Yeah.
And then they chose to come out with, adding
Yeah.
4 people to a live.
Well, this is also like, Instagram's owned by Facebook too, and Facebook's strategy in so many different ways is kind of resembled of Amazon, where they just buy out their competitors. They buy out stuff that they can do in-house. So they're very similar in that way, and that's why a lot of these smaller companies, like, why does Facebook need to buy Oculus or what, that VR company,
Did Facebook buy them?
Oh yeah, a while back.
Oh,
A while
okay, I
back,
didn't
yeah.
realize
And I guess you can start now. They've implemented stuff where you can start doing 360, virtual experiences, or I don't know. But that's like their what is it, A&R? Their strategy as far as acquisitions and all that stuff. So, once these companies get so big, that's their strategy. It's just buy out everything that comes along.
Yeah. Yeah. Just buy it up and copy it. And Amazon now, I have to go. I've got a meeting with Jack, but Amazon eliminated retail. I mean, not yet, but they're
Right.
well
Pretty
on their
much.
way. And then eliminated bookstores, even though there's Barnes and Noble still, but
Barely hanging on by a
Barely.
thread. Yeah.
and because Amazon bought Borders
That's right.
way back when they bought Borders books. But what's interesting is that as Amazon seeks to eliminate all of these retail stores, Amazon now has started a retail store,
Yep.
a couple of them, but Amazon Bookstore. I saw it
Yep.
the other day, Amazon Bookstore.
I've been to one.
They have all of their books. And then also, it's so interesting. They have like all of these just items from Amazon that are like high frequency items.
That's right.
So they'll have like books and then like a spatula and like a set of Tupperware and a vacuum
Oh my
and then
gosh.
like a baby toy. It's just like,
Yeah, and they'll have reviews.
It's very
they'll have
strange.
Amazon reviews under the books.
No way.
Yeah.
and then the Amazon, if you're an Amazon Prime, it's
Yeah.
so much cheaper, which
Yep.
same thing
Yeah.
as it is on Amazon. But it's like, I saw Ben Greenfield's book there, Boundless, and
Yeah.
it was like $64, Amazon Prime $32.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
half
like,
the price.
well, and what's genius about that is
Yeah.
that people walk into that store, they all want to become Prime members
Yeah.
because they pay $100 a year and then they get 50% off of everything in the store.
Right.
Sign me up, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just another industry that's shopping. It's been around forever
Yeah.
that Amazon came in and completely disrupted
Yeah,
the whole industry.
I agree. We all can keep going if you want, but I have to run.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Stuff.
No worries. Don't hit your head.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I did that from his iPhone.
Did what?
Turned off the camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to keep going? What's going on in your world?
Yeah. Yeah, not too much. I'm excited about the content we have coming out. Your stuff, my stuff. I'm excited about the interns that we're going to get.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really big help, I think, for all of us as far as
so too.
holding us accountable to constant content creation and making sure that they, their time is respected.
Yeah.
So there's something that I guess blew up on Twitter today about, unpaid internships.
Oh gosh,
And,
I saw a post about it the other day too. It's
yeah.
just like,
So apparently, this NFL reporter from Dallas, actually, she super popular.
what's her name? Do you know?
Jane Slater,
Okay.
NFL. She reports on the Cowboys,
Okay.
but she's a big Dallasite girl. She's
Yeah.
always around.
Yeah.
The hot spots or whatever. But she just posted on Twitter, "Hey, I'm looking for this internship. You get to basically be my right hand side and have all these cool experiences, basically, get a wealth of knowledge, get to learn from me firsthand and all this stuff." And Twitter does like Twitter does and blew up in her face. And I think at one point they started digging up dirt on her family and tried to these people are Twitter. It's my least favorite platform. I try to avoid it at all costs because even if you don't follow things like politics or whatever on Twitter, it still appears on your feed. It still appears on trending. You're going to get the negative stuff. It's almost impossible.
Twitter is World War III online.
It is, yeah. Well, it's just people in a room yelling at each other. People who have no...
Respect.
It doesn't matter what your credentials are or anything. So it's just a bunch of people with an opinion and something to say and yelling at each other. There's no nuance, and that's just the type of conversations that you'll get. And that's where cancel culture started and all these things. So
yes. Man, that's terrible. So in her post, did she say that it was a free internship or something like that? Is that why she's getting torn apart?
I didn't get the full details, but I know it was her and that she posted an unpaid internship opportunity, and the entire social media sphere just blew up, and then people started talking about the ethics or whatever of it. And I understand one side, but I understand both sides, and I think that's why most people can't argue.
Right.
They don't understand either side.
Yeah.
I was in a period in college when I was working through college, and I didn't have enough time to have an unpaid internship like some of my other friends. However, those I do find very valuable, and I do think you can get a tremendous amount of value if you can dedicate some time to that. I was interviewing this one guy who he's going to school and he has some free time during the week and he wants to do an internship, but he's also working at night, and there's people that love that grind,
Well, another thing too, some people can afford to take an unpaid internship, and it's with an organization like the Dallas Cowboys. Can you imagine leaving that internship, going to any other job? It probably sets you up pretty nice because you have the name Dallas Cowboys on your resume. Yeah, I was unpaid.
Here's the thing. If you've ever been in an unpaid internship, there's people always willing to help you out.
Yeah.
If you show up and you are, willing to do what it takes, people recognize that. And something like that internship, if I was in college or younger and I was into that, I would love that opportunity because I know I'm going to meet invaluable people.
Absolutely.
That are going to help me get a paid job, and probably a paid job that pays better than a lot of these normal entry-level jobs. Just because I took a risk and I was able to put my neck out there, then you can be rewarded for that.
Yeah. Yeah, in college I also was not able to take an unpaid internship. Rent was
right. Yeah, you had
not free, unfortunately.
Right, yeah.
So I was just in the position, where I had to find one. But there's also a lot of great opportunities out there that were unpaid, that were really great opportunities. I think there's a place for both.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel bad that she's getting ripped apart.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's people who it's Twitter.
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's you throw yourself out to the wolves, and it is
Hope
what
you
it
live.
is. Yeah, exactly. So, well, anyways, this has been a really good conversation. Like we said, we're excited for interns. We're excited for these new app updates. And we're excited to just make the best product for you guys and start creating some really great content. So
Absolutely.
yeah, happy March, everybody. And we will talk to you guys next week.